Level 1, the visitor. Most people who open this browser close it within 10 minutes. Not because it's dangerous, because it's disappointing. No hackers, no neon code, no instant chaos, just empty pages, slow loading screens, and people who don't want you there. That's why almost everyone leaves. But the ones who don't stay the same. You open it late at night, same room, same silence, same screen glowing in the dark. Nothing feels different, and that's what makes it easy. You click through directories, random links, forums with names that don't mean anything yet, pages filled with warnings you don't take seriously. Trust no one. Use escrow. Everything is monitored. You've seen this tone before. It feels exaggerated, like part of the culture, so you ignore it. You keep clicking, thread after thread, people arguing about scams, vendors defending themselves, buyers accusing everyone of being fake. Everyone sounds paranoid. You assume it's just how this place works. You don't post anything. You don't message anyone. You don't exist here. And that's exactly why it feels safe. Because in your mind, nothing happens to people who don't participate. Only sellers get caught. Only scammers get exposed. Only people who take risks pay for it. Not you. You're just looking. You open another page, then another. Some don't load. Some look abandoned. Some look active, but off. You don't question it. Everything looks the same anyway. Black background, plain text, random links that lead somewhere else. You move fast, too fast. Not because you're careless, because you don't think it matters. You close your laptop. The room goes quiet again, and for a moment, it feels like nothing happened. Like you just explored something new and walked away from it. But this world doesn't work like that. You don't enter it and leave unchanged. You either forget it exists, or you come back. And the next night, you open it again. Not because you have to, because now you want to understand it. And that's the difference. Curiosity brought you here. But curiosity doesn't build anything. It just opens the door. And once that door is open, you stop being a visitor. You just don't realize it yet. Level 2, the observer. You don't rush back in. That's the first change. The curiosity is still there, but now it's quieter, more controlled. You open the browser again, same pages, same layout, same slow loading screens, but something feels different. Not in the system, in how you see it. You stop clicking everything, you slow down, you read. Threads that felt random before start making sense. Buyers complaining, vendors defending, moderators stepping in. There's a structure here, no one explains it. You're expected to notice it. You create a username, not to talk, to exist. It's empty, no history, no identity. You leave one reply, short, careful. Someone answers, cold tone, direct. No greeting, just a response that feels like a test. You don't reply again. You've already learned something. Here, every message has weight. You start watching numbers, reputation scores, feedback counts, time on the platform. You notice how people react to them. High reputation equals respect. Low reputation equals suspicion. No one argues that rule. You read vendor pages, not the listings, the reviews. Patterns appear. Some vendors never lose disputes. Some accounts always defend each other. Some buyers complain, then disappear. It doesn't feel random. It feels designed. You start recognizing usernames, not consciously, but they stay in your head. You see the same names in different threads, same tone, same timing, connections form, or at least, it looks like they do. You stop thinking like a user. You start thinking like an observer, watching behavior, tracking patterns, looking for consistency. Because consistency here means something. It means control. You refresh threads more than you should, waiting for updates, watching outcomes. You start predicting things. Who will win? Who will get ignored? Who will disappear next? Sometimes you're right, enough times to notice. That's when it shifts. This isn't just a place, it's a system, and systems can be understood. One night, you notice something off. 2 users arguing publicly, then agreeing too quickly, too clean, too fast. You check timestamps, read older threads, same pattern, same accounts. You lean back, because now you see it. Some people aren't just using the system, They're shaping it. You don't act. Not yet. Because you've learned something else. The people who move too early get noticed. But now you understand something most don't. There's structure here. There's leverage. And there's a way in. You just haven't taken it yet. Level 3. The connector. You don't look for opportunities. You stay where you are. Watching. Reading. Understanding more than you say. And eventually, that becomes noticeable. It starts with a reply. You've been around. You read it twice, because it's not a question, it's recognition. You don't answer right away. You wait. Fast replies look eager. Eagerness looks weak. You respond with one sentence. Neutral. Controlled. They reply again. More specific. Not asking what you do, asking what you know. Then it shifts. You know who delivers. You don't reply immediately, because now it's clear. This isn't conversation, it's positioning. You've been observing for weeks. You know who's consistent, who causes problems, who lasts. You send one name, nothing else. Hours pass, no response. Then a message appears. Good call. A few minutes later, your wallet updates, $27. You stare at it, not because it's a lot, because it's real. Second connection, $85. Third, $140. Same pattern. No explanations, no confirmations, just results. Within a week, you've made $600. You didn't sell anything. You didn't build anything. You just knew who to connect, and that was enough. More messages come, different users. Same approach. They don't ask what you do. They assume it. You stay consistent. No promises, no pressure, just connections. Your name starts appearing, quietly. Ask him. You check your wallet more often now. $600 turns into $1,200, then $1,800. Not fast, but steady. This isn't curiosity anymore. You've found a position, not at the top, not at the bottom, in the middle, where information moves, where trust is decided. And for the first time, you're not just watching the system, you're getting paid to understand it. Level 4. The builder. You stop connecting people, not completely, just less. Because you notice something. The people making real money aren't in the middle. They're the source. You start paying attention differently. Not to users, to systems. What sells, what lasts, what gets removed. You notice patterns. The loud vendors disappear. The inconsistent ones get buried. The ones who survive are predictable, reliable. So you don't rush. You build. A new account, clean. No connection to your name, no history. You launch something small, simple, low price, fast delivery, nothing impressive. The first week, nothing happens. Then one order, $40. You respond instantly. Deliver fast, no mistakes. Second order, $90, then 3 more. You over-deliver. Add extra. Respond faster than expected, because now you understand something. Reputation isn't earned slowly. It's built intentionally. A week later, $600. 2 weeks, $1,800. Your old wallet still moves. Connections still bring money. Now you have 2 streams. Month 1 ends, $4,200 total. Not huge, but consistent. You adjust. Improve listings, refine responses, watch competitors. Month 2, $9,000. You don't celebrate. You optimize. You learn timing. When buyers are active, when responses matter most. You start seeing repeat names, customers coming back. That's when it changes. Because one-time money is random. Repeat money is control. Month 3, $16,000. You stop checking small transactions. You focus on flow. More orders, more messages, more expectations. You handle everything. Fast, clean, quiet. Your reputation grows, not loudly, but visibly. Your name starts appearing in searches, in replies, in recommendations. Reliable. That word matters more than anything, because now you're not just part of the system. You're building inside it, and for the first time, people don't just know you, they depend on you. Level 5, the operator. You stop thinking in transactions. That's the shift. Orders still come in, messages still stack, money still moves, but you're not focused on any of it. You're focused on scale. You notice something. You're doing the same things, over and over. Same replies, same process, same outcomes. So you change it. You create systems, saved responses, automated steps, faster workflows. What took minutes now takes seconds. Orders increase, not slowly, noticeably. $16,000 turns into $22,000, then $28,000, not because demand changed, because you did. You stop handling everything manually. You split tasks, different accounts, different roles, nothing connected, everything controlled. You don't rely on one identity anymore. You operate through layers. One account sells, another supports, another gathers feedback. From the outside, it looks like multiple vendors. But it's all you. You test things, prices, delivery times, response styles. Some fail, some scale. You keep what works, kill what doesn't. You're not guessing anymore. You're running experiments. Monthly income crosses $35,000, then $42,000. It doesn't feel like growth. It feels like control. You start noticing competitors. Who's rising, who's dropping. You adjust before they do. Undercut quietly, improve faster, respond cleaner. You don't compete publicly. You outlast them. Your name isn't the biggest, but it's consistent, and consistency wins here. Messages change, less questions, more assumptions. You're the one running this, right? You don't answer. Because the less you say, the more people assume. An assumption builds presence. You check your total. $50,000 in a month. Not one spike, not one lucky deal. Just systems running correctly. You don't feel excited. You feel stable. That's when it becomes clear. You're not just building anymore. You're operating. And the system isn't something you use now. It's something you run. Level 6, the network. You stop working alone, not directly, but effectively. Your systems are stable now. Orders flow, responses are handled, money moves without friction. You don't need to be everywhere anymore. And that creates space. You start noticing something. Certain users appear around you, often. Same buyers, same small vendors, same accounts, asking similar questions. At first it feels random. Then it doesn't. They're not just using the system. They're orbiting you. Some ask for advice, short messages. How would you handle this? Is this vendor safe? You don't answer everything, only what matters, only what's useful, because you understand something now. Attention is leverage. The more selective you are, the more valuable your words become. You give small guidance, nothing detailed, just enough. They follow it, and it works. That's the important part. A vendor improves their listing. Sales increase, a buyer avoids a bad deal, comes back, patterns form. People start repeating what you say, not quoting you, but echoing you. Your influence spreads quietly. You're not the loudest, you're not the most visible, but decisions start tracing back to you. Your income crosses $60,000, then $75,000, not because you're doing more work, because more things are moving through you. You start connecting people again, but differently now, not for small cuts, for positioning. You introduce reliable vendors to serious buyers. You guide smaller accounts toward better systems. They benefit. You benefit more. Because now it's not about single transactions. It's about flow. You're shaping how things move, who trades with who grows, who fades, and most of them don't even realize it. Your name appears more often now, not everywhere, just in the right places. Ask him. He knows. You don't correct it. Because influence here doesn't come from visibility. It comes from consistency. You check your numbers. $90,000 in a month. No spikes, no surprises, just systems, people, flow. That's when it becomes clear. You're not just operating anymore. You're connected. And the system isn't something you run alone. It's something that runs through you. Level 7. The gatekeeper. You stop offering value openly. That's the change. You don't reply as often. You don't guide as much. You don't need to. Because now, people come to you differently, not for advice, for access. Can you vouch for me? Can you connect me? Can you get me in? You read the messages, you don't answer most of them, because you understand something now. Access is more valuable than information. Anyone can learn the system. Not everyone gets through it. You start choosing who you respond to, who you ignore, who you quietly push forward, and those choices matter. A small vendor gets your attention. You connect them once. Their sales double. Another account asks for help. You ignore it. They disappear within weeks. It's not coincidence. You're filtering the system. Your income crosses $110,000, then $130,000. Not from doing more, from controlling who moves. You don't chase deals anymore. Deals come pre-built. Buyers approach you with intent. Vendors approach you with proof. They don't waste your time, because they know you won't respond. Your name carries weight now. Not everywhere, only where it matters. You need him. That phrase spreads quietly. You don't confirm it. You don't deny it. Because the less you say, the more it grows. You start limiting connections. Not everyone gets through. You test people. Small delays, short replies, no guarantees. Most fail. Some don't. Those are the ones you keep. Your network tightens. Fewer people, better outcomes. You're not increasing volume. You're increasing quality. Money follows. $150,000 in a month. Clean, consistent. You stop checking daily totals. You check structure. Who's active? Who's reliable? Who's worth keeping? Because now, you're not just part of the system. You decide who enters it. And once that happens, you're not just connected anymore. You're the one people go through. Level 8. The Kingpin. You stop thinking about growth, because growth is no longer the goal. Control is. Your network is stable. Your systems run without friction. People move through structures you designed. You don't need to expand. You refine. You start removing things. Unreliable vendors, inconsistent buyers, accounts that create noise, not publicly, quietly. They just stop appearing. No announcements, no explanations, and no one questions it. Because at this level, disappearances don't get discussed. They get accepted. Your income crosses $200,000, then $260,000. It doesn't feel bigger. It feels quieter. Fewer transactions, higher value. You're not dealing with everyone anymore, only the ones who matter. Large buyers, established vendors, people who already understand the system. You don't explain rules, you enforce them. Messages become shorter, direct. Approved. Denied. Wait. No reasoning, no discussion. Because you've reached a point where decisions don't need justification. You start seeing the system differently, not as parts, as flow. Money moves, information moves, access moves, and all of it passes through you. You notice something else. Other networks exist, smaller ones, less stable. Some try to compete, undercut, copy, pull users away. You don't respond directly, you adjust. Prices shift, access tightens, connections change. Within weeks, they fade. Not because you attacked them, because you outstructured them. Your presence becomes harder to define. People know your name, but they don't know where you are. Some think you're a group. Others think you're multiple accounts. You don't correct it, because confusion protects control. You check your totals. $300,000 in a month. Clean. Controlled. No chaos. No risk spikes. Just structure working exactly how you designed it. That's when it becomes clear. You're not building anymore. You're not operating. You're not filtering. You're controlling. And the system is no longer something you're inside. It's something that exists because of you. Level 9, the shadow. You stop showing up. Not completely, just less. Replies take longer. Decisions happen without explanation. Your presence fades from the surface. But nothing slows down. Orders still move. Connections still happen. Money still flows. The system runs. Without you being seen. That's the difference now. You're not the center anymore. You're behind it. You start delegating without saying it. Certain accounts handle tasks. Others handle communication. From the outside, it looks distributed. From your side, it's controlled. You don't log in at fixed times anymore. No routine, no pattern. Because patterns get noticed. You rotate devices, change access points, limit visibility. Not because something happened, because it could. Your income crosses $350,000, then $420,000. You don't track every transaction. You track totals. You don't watch activity, you watch movement, where money flows, where users shift, where attention builds. You start stepping back from decisions, not all of them, just enough. You let others act, watch the outcome, adjust quietly. Because control now isn't about doing everything. It's about knowing when not to. Your name appears less, but when it does, it carries more weight. He approved it. That's enough. No explanation needed. You notice something else. People talk about you differently now, not directly, not openly, like you're not fully there. Some think you left. Some think you're still watching. Some think you were never one person. You don't correct it, because uncertainty is stronger than presence. You check your reserves, large, stable, spread across places no one connects. Not everything is accessible, not everything is safe, but enough is. You move less in real life, fewer places, fewer routines, because now you understand something clearly. The higher you go, the less visible you become, and the less visible you are, the harder you are to reach. You're no longer the system, you're the shadow behind it, and shadows don't need to be seen to exist. Level 10, the myth. You stop logging in, not suddenly, gradually. Fewer sessions, shorter checks, less involvement, until one day, you don't open it at all, and nothing breaks. That's how you know. The system doesn't need you visibly anymore. It runs, quietly. People still trade, still connect, still move through structures you built. But your name starts changing. Less present, more distant. Not in conversations, in references. I heard about him. He used to run things. Not sure if he's still around. You don't respond, because you're not part of it anymore, not directly. You check your reserves, not daily, not even weekly. Just enough to know it's still there. Some funds moved, some frozen, some lost in places you won't touch again. But enough remains, more than enough. Money stops feeling like a number. It becomes distance. Distance from systems, distance from people, distance from risk. You move differently now. New places, short stays, no patterns, no reason to explain anything. Because your life is no longer connected to what you built, and that's the goal. You read sometimes, out of habit, not involvement. New markets appear, new names rise, new systems form. Some look familiar, too familiar. Pieces of what you built, repeating, adjusted, rebranded. But the structure is the same. You don't react, because that's how this world works. Nothing truly disappears. It just changes hands. Your name appears less, but when it does, it's different. Not as a user, not as a vendor, as a reference, a story, something people mention without knowing if it's real. That's when it becomes clear. You're no longer part of the system, you're part of its history. And history here doesn't get recorded, it gets remembered or forgotten. And somewhere, someone is opening that browser for the first time. Scrolling through pages they don't understand, thinking they're just looking, not realizing how far it can go and how quiet it gets at the top. Because by the time anyone reaches your level, you're already gone.